mic and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Woo! Good morning, Bakers. What is going on, everybody? And welcome to Wake and Jake in the morning. Myself, producer, Big Baby David, who hails from Baltimore this weekend. That's a pun. Talk about later. How's everybody doing? We got the chat popping off early. We got Ice in the chat. They want some Celtics talk. We'll end up there. We'll end up in those NBA playoffs. We're going to start with some baseball. Baseball crowd. Baseball's hot on the street. Although the first games of each NBA series got tipped off, and there's some stuff there. There's some what you should know as you watch the rest of the way. Baseball, caliente en los calles, hot in the street. My Yanks. There's probably a few people in here that either want to drink Yankee tears, or I think there's a lot of Yankee fans that want to be tough on the Yanks because their downfalls, especially last year, 2020 season, I mean, that was weird as all hell. But I guess it was kind of some of the same pitfalls. Last year, it was just a full data sample of poor offensive baseball, and it feels like that's continued. As they lost 2 out of 3 from the Birds. And, you know, Michael V., no Yanks talk, please. There'll be a little bit. We did a full Talking Yanks episode on Easter. Built different. Entirely different. Easter different. And yeah, it's losing 2 out of 3 to the Orioles. It's early in the season. Hopefully you could look back later in the year and laugh, but right now it's not that. And the Yanks don't look good. They look bad. They lost to the Orioles, a team that I've been saying on Talking Baseball coming up live after this. I don't know if they're going to win 50 games this year. More importantly, general baseball, the Orioles' left field is insane. Joe's McFly and myself, we didn't like the design. Like, they went out wide and then it cuts back in, which, like, if you have that on a baseball field, that's not natural. Like, yes.
We're generally pro quirks, but
sometimes there will be good chaos there, but that's like a dangerous chaos. That's not. If you have quirks, they kind of need to be going out. But I guess that means there's one coming in. Houston left field would be the opposite.
Yeah.
That's what Baltimore has. They have the opposite of Houston's left field. I didn't realize this, and I guess a little bit of talking O's today. Luke Walker just said in the chat, it's 400 to, like, pull left field. I can't believe how deep the Orioles made their left field. I mean, what used to be a homer-happy Camden Yards, I don't know. I know it's kind of this thing with people and change. You just instantly hate it. I mean, the Orioles are saying it's some front to be able to attract more pitchers eventually. I mean, maybe they're going to build their team. This is where I went to late night, like, hey, I don't know. Are they just going to get a bunch of lefty hitters? And then maybe you get a bunch of, like, lefty pitchers? And that's your advantage of being the Baltimore Orioles? I guess we'll find out in a few years, but 400 to left field, bizarre. Good for the Birds. They win. Yankees are in a tough place. Their pitching is incredible. Their pitching is incredible. And it's starting to get to the point where I think that's where Yankee fans are getting mad, is that they're the Bronx Bombers. Like, pitching was the complaint. They didn't have the ace. Like Severino, he pooped himself that one wild card start. He was the one. The Yankees got Garrett Cole. The pitching after him, it felt thin. Right now, the Yankees pitching is stacked.
Yeah, and that also has the kind of a sample of all of last year, too.
Right, they had a great year last year. Like, you could give me any of the Yankees starting five in like a playoff game right now, and I'd feel good.
Yeah,
The Yankees haven't had that.
Like, sure, would you like game one? Yeah, it's Garrett Cole and the kind of a gap, but like I'm comfortable with anyone starting a playoff game in theory right now. Like we're fine there.
So I think that's what's getting Yankee fans actually mad and like aggressive is that this pitching that
They theoretically finally fixed
in
the bugaboo.
In Yankees fans, that was the problem. Is now electric, and you're losing 2 in Camden.
And like the Orioles, they aren't like trying to think of the example. They aren't like they aren't a team that's supposed to sneak up on you. It's like, oh yeah, they can ruin your weekend. Like they're not.
No,
they're not good.
No, like there's
Not trying to
28
win.
teams in baseball that can do that. The Orioles kind of aren't one of them.
Yeah, like the Guardians are fully off to a good start, but coming into
Oh.
the year, we were like, well, they have good pitching.
Guardians
that can
could
shut
sweep
you
ya.
down, and like Jose Ramirez can go off, and Franmil can go off, and then
Rockies
The
can
weekend's
sweep
done.
you. Orioles were pretty close to it without a little hailstorm that led to some Yankees offense. Go listen to Talking Yanks. The comments I was going through them before the show, they're pretty funny. They're like, wow, I've never seen Jake like this. And everyone was just,
I was a little scared.
there's a secret, one of the secret recipes to podcasting or making a show, like whenever people reach out and they're like, I want to get into it, I want to start going. You'd be surprised, like a lot of to be a successful show or whatever, there's got to be a lot of energy and normally positive. I think Talking Yanks would be a good example. Like yesterday, we had to go in and be tough, and that played. But if you're always negative, like people go to podcasts and shows to distract themselves. That's what we do, right? I mean, I guess there's people that do it educationally as well. Inform yourself on something. But still, if you're devoting your time to absorb something, you kind of want good energy at the end of it.
Like community building and like building an audience.
You either, and so, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I still think the Yankees' big card to play is that they are going to call up one of their top prospect shortstops. They've got 2 top prospects, and they've got a third guy that's an option that I think might get a look.
It's supposed to be like an MLB level player, whatever that'll mean.
That would be a dynamic change. The other thing that's kind of crazy is like injury will happen at some point, and right now the Yankees are still shuffling bats. There are things with the Yankees' philosophies that aren't proven in Major League Baseball to be successful. The way they use rest days, changing up the lineup has been a popular conversation around the office.
I mean, there's like we were pretty attuned to the other teams in the league. Legitimately, I've been trying to think of like what teams like change up the lineup and where guys play as much as the Yankees. And the only one that I think does it as much is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Because like Cole plays a different position,
Right.
My eyes are on their lineup for that.
Everyone points to the Rays, which there's some comparisons
Rays
there.
Rays are a special.
But
case.
they're also like Brandon Lau, Wander Franco.
They have like a group that they go every day.
Like they kind of have their core top of the lineup, which has been Jimmy's big point for a while. Is I don't care what you do at the bottom. Like if guys are hot and
some
cold,
guys that you do that with.
but whether it's whatever way you want to sort it, the top of the Yankees lineup should be DJ LeMahieu, Rizzo, Judge, Stanton, Gallo, Donaldson. It's like what the strength of the team should be is like roll that out there. You got lefties, you got righties. Rizzo and DJ are kind of contact-ish. You've got different looks. Like you've got the materials. Just like trust it. Like they're the person on the grill that just keeps, or not even the grill. They're messing with something they're cooking in the oven. Like they're making a cornbread and they're stabbing it every 10 minutes to see if it's done.
Okay, once it's in there, it's supposed to kind of
let it cook. Let Russ cook. Go Broncos.
Like just because the guidance doesn't click yet, like they can figure it out, or like make the change and stick with it.
I want to give my
haven't
guy
repeated a lineup yet.
My guy in the chat, Matt Molthrop, in here, O's fan, saying the O's pitching is better. Maybe it is. Maybe we'll find out some stuff. That Zimmerman kid's had 2 good starts now, but
they have a couple young arms.
Still,
figure it out.
Let's see where the Orioles land this year. If the Orioles, Matt Molthrop, if the Orioles win 70 games this year, I will give you $250 to the JOMBOY Media Store. Like, it's easy. We'll see. Maybe they are. What a treat that would be. But right now, the Yankees, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. So we'll see where that ends up. Baseball moves fast. They have an off day today. They're going to play 3 against the Detroit Tigers, an improved Detroit Tigers team. Very excited to see what that series looks like.
And it was just a year ago, basically this time a year ago, that they did what they just did with the Orioles, with the Tigers.
Much worse. I mean, they literally brought up AAA guys to play that series, and they got swept.
Is even more a spit in the face.
So, yeah, it's going to be – the Yankees are going to be a wild ride this year. I'm so interested to see how they react to a new and improved Tigers team. And if they show out, again, it's so super early that I'll start saying good. They might have learned a lesson. If it's more the same, I kept in the shower this morning. I was thinking of that. What's the insanity line that's true? Doing the same thing and expecting different results is the definition of insanity.
Which I don't think is.
It's
actually
not.
Its
it's a concept. And everyone gets it. But yeah, I mean, in a way, they're doing that. So
it'd be one thing if they just were like, hey, this is Judge's DH day, switch him and Stanton. But that's just not what they do.
They act like some stuff is
not
promised.
Like
it's just not. So, Warren Reynolds in the chat said, "Hey Jake." So hey, honestly, I'll stop there on Wake and Jake with the Yankees stuff.
Plenty of Yankees.
Go. Hey, honestly, if you're a baseball fan and you're crushing some time, I'd go check out at least the first 10 minutes of Talking Yanks. Like, we stumble into some deeper stuff, but, those first 10 minutes, we're running a little hot.
Wasn't focused on the games that were played specifically, necessarily.
Ooh, Tom Ace did, and this is where I close. What's Jake's ideal lineup? I would go DJ, Rizzo, Judge, Stanton, Gallo, Donaldson. I think there you protect Gallo with Donaldson so he can't just, walk. I used to be scared of Judge and Stanton back-to-back. I'm not as much anymore. The only risk and argument against that conversation is, Judge isn't high enough in the lineup there. You'd kind of like him too, but Rizzo's been really good.
I'd be fine with... I'd honestly be fine with just about any order of those 4 as long as Judge and Stanton are in your top 4, whatever.
My caveat whenever I say that is that if DJ and Rizzo are playing like DJ and Rizzo, then I think that's the Yankees' best lineup. If one of them's slumping, then you slide them down, and I'm fine with that.
Let that happen. I have been... I do genuinely kind of enjoy 5-hole DJ, and he's been hitting well there. But, if in an ideal world, if he's going, and he's what we saw the last few years, great way to start a game.
He was, the best part of the Yankees lineup. If you want more Yankees talk, go check out Talking Yanks. Ryan in the chat said, I'm a White Sox fan, and the last Talking Yanks episode was a great watch. So that's, you know what? That tickles my heart a little bit. Tickles my ivory. Let's do a quick around the league to catch up where we are. Again, talking baseball after this, we'll be deep diving into some of the bigger combos. But I forgot. I was trying to think Wake and Jake Baseball Mondays. What was that like? And it was just a quick sweep around the league. Couple highlight reel things. And we'll do some standing stuff quick. It's very early. The AL is actually funny. I don't know if you looked at this, BBD. There's the best record in the AL is the 6-3 White Sox. After that, there's 2 6-4 teams. Everyone else is just floating in. It's baseball. It's baseball.
It's been 10 days into the regular season.
Like if it was pretty much any team except the Baltimore Orioles, the tone of last night's episode would have been very different. The Rays last year went, 18-1 against the Orioles?
Yeah.
It's the reason they won the division? Okay.
Like every year, division winner in the AL East has beaten the crap out of the Orioles. The last however many years the Orioles have been nothing.
The Toronto Blue Jays, they won 2 out of 3 against the Athletics. Good for them. Don't care. They're playing at Boston this week. Marathon Monday today. So that's kind of fun. Or are they? The Red Sox are playing someone else for Marathon Monday. They're playing the Twins right now.
Oh, is that the?
Yeah.
I forgot they do that, the morning game.
Yeah, it always sneaks up on you. I love
Have
it.
they always done that? Last year's the first year I remember it.
I think yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marathon Monday.
Year before there weren't games.
Yeah.
Haven't been locked in.
They've won 2 out of 3 against the Twins. They're playing game 4 right now. Twins, a little rally forming, first and second, 2 outs. We'll keep you updated throughout the game.
Dylan Bundy on the bump.
And that's so funny, and it's why early baseball conversations can be ridiculous. If the Red Sox win today, they'll be 6-4 and one of the best records in the AL. If they lose, they will be 5-5, same as the Yankees, same as the Rays, same as the Oakland Athletics and the Seattle Mariners. So tough early baseball season, and that's why Yankee fans, I think a lot of Yankee fans know that, but it's the pure feel. It's same shit, different day.
And it's the not.
Labor error at short. Seen that.
It's the making mistakes and attitude that you knew was a problem the last several years. And combined with it being against the Orioles, so you know you kind of got to get fat on.
Twins
just
up.
Everyone could have seen this coming.
Twins up 2-0. Kyle Garlick. Wow.
4-hole Kyle Garlick.
How about Kyle Garlick? Clearing the bases. Are there still men on for Gary? Anyways. Your Tampa Rays. They lost 4 straight at one point. 2 to the A's, 2 to the White Sox, both 3-2 games. They win their getaway game 9-3. I circled the Rays before the season. I think the division's too tough, and them trading Meadows really flipped the switch. I still think there's a chance this year is the year they fall off. We'll see. Super early. Same record as the Yankees, Baltimore Orioles. Matt Moulthrop says their pitching's better. So that's the good news. White Sox, you just heard about them. They're 6-3. They just beat up on the Rays. They've had a nice start to the season. They've won all 3 of their series, 2-3. Detroit versus Seattle and versus the Rays. So the White Sox, again, I mean, kind of one of the bigger favorites in the American League. The biggest favorite in the American League because of their division. They're off and rolling. The Guardians, their hot start. They were 4-2. Everyone was like, what's going on? Guardians? Ramirez extension? They got swept by the Giants at home. How about that? Play a good game, play a good team, and that's what happens sometime. Their 4-game winning streak against the Royals and the Reds doesn't look as impressive. Guardians back to 4-5. The Detroit Tigers, they will be welcoming my Yanks. They went 2-3 against the Royals. Couple close, low-scoring games. In Kansas City, they'll now host the Yankees. I'm excited to see what they look like. Javi got hurt, though. That stinks. Did Zach Short get called up? Let's Google that. Zach Short. I know he was playing some outfield this year. Call him up, Tigers. What are you doing? Handsome. April 21st, 2021. No, we want 2022. Okay. So we're just going to bide our time for that. 40, man. Let's get our guy home.
Willie Castro called up to replace Javi.
Willie. I like him. Kansas City Royals, you heard about them. They're 3-5. They've had a couple rainouts. They lost. They were on the other side of that. 2 out of 3 to Detroit. Your Minnesota Twins, they're 3-6. They're playing Boston right now. Boy, could they use a win. They have, what they do? They split with Seattle. Lost 2 to the Dodgers. That was the Kershaw perfect game series. They got shut out by Boston. Who did that? Tanner Houck. Oh, my God. That could be big for them. Minnesota, selfishly, I mean, there's some Yankee reasons. There's some roster construction reasons. I would love if they stayed around this year. That pitching, especially Sonny Gray just got hurt. I mean, I'll read it off to the people, and it's not twisting the knife to the good people of Trevor Plouffe, Minnesota, but their rotation right now is Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, Dylan Bundy, Chris Archer, Chris Paddock. Who, by the way, they're actually off to a solid start. But yeah, that's why I'm a little skeptical. We will see. Let's see what else we've got in the American Bundesliga. The Los Angeles Angels, 6-4, top of the division. Jakey Peacock. Ohtani was struggling to start the year. He has started going full nut job. They have won 5 of their last 6. They won 3 out of 4 at your Texas Rangers. Yankee fans, if you want to get riled up, Tyler Wade off to a really nice start to the season. Tyler Wade, a little 364, 391, 800 OPS. I know we're biased because he's my doppelganger, but that's something we could look back at saying that's very interesting how that played out. Ohtani got his power stroke going. Jared Walsh looks to be real. Joe Adell ran into a couple after cold start. Mike Trout hit the hand on a pitch. I think x-rays were negative, but he's going to be out a couple games. He was doing Mike Trout things per usual. I think the actual storyline, if we're doing big potential storylines around baseball, 2 pitchers out in the AL West. Noah Syndergaard, 11.1 innings pitched. He's only given up 2 earned runs, a 1.59 ERA. Strikeouts aren't there, but Thor getting off to a good start. We'll see what that means. Verlander shoved again. Oh, and Jeremy Pena, Houston's rookie shortstop. He's good. All the baseball savant numbers. All of them.
Told you to sprinkle.
Yeah. That being said, Houston is 5-4. They got beat at Seattle, 2 out of 3. Go Mariners, go. Good for you. Matt Brash, holy smokes. That dude has nasty stuff. Gross stuff. Pitch Ninja. I think Pitch Ninja literally just posted something from him. Go check him out. Your Oakland Athletics. Yikes. We mentioned them. They got beat by the Blue Jays. A's Orioles coming up. Get hot, Baltimore. Prove me wrong. Seattle, we just mentioned them. 5-5 as well. Texas Rangers, 2-7. 2-7. That might be a funny TPP to go back and watch at some point. If you guys remember, we all got a little hot and bothered at the lineup, and then everyone looked at the staff and was like, ew. I don't know if that's it. The National League brought to you by DraftKings. They're the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Jim, big gambler now. Placing big boy bets, big parlays. I've been doing my bet of the day on Friday. Should have had last Friday, but the Yankees couldn't beat the Orioles. They only scored 1 run. Lost 2-1 in 11 innings. if they scored one in the 10th with the Manfred runner. The Manfred runner. Anyways, DraftKings, you can bet $5 on any team to win. You get $200 in free bets. They also have their daily fantasy contests, kind of how they were built. Safe, secure, and reliable. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY. Bet just $5 and win $200 in free bets if your team wins their game. That's promo code JOMBOY at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 plus restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission. See show notes for details. National League team right now of note, the New York Metropolitans. They're off to a nice little start of their season, 7-3. They handle the D-backs at home. They win 2 out of 3. You know, that's a team you kind of want to sweep, but I gave the lineup for the Snakes Saturday. They won, so that's kind of on me. I will say this. I mean, it's Nationals and Diamondbacks were 2 of their 3 series. Supposed to be 2 of the worst teams in the National League. They did win 2 out of 3 at Philly. They now host the Giants. That's going to be a fun one. Ooh. I almost want to, go to one of those games. Giants at Mets? Fire me up. You already heard about the Giants, so we won't go back there, but they swept the Guardians. They're on a little 5-game win streak, 6 out of 7. They're back at it. If they're real again, what the hell does that mean for that organization, for the Padres? Atlanta Braves are 5-6. A little bit of a slow start for them. They split 4 in San Diego, and now they head to the Dodgers. Tough start to the season. That's a tough little stretch as they try to fire it up. Miami Marlins are 4-5. They just took 3 out of 4 from the Phillies. Phillies, what is you doing, baby? As the Phillies are now 4-6. Phillies, don't fall behind. They head to Colorado. Don't fall behind, Phillies. Long season. Long silly. Nats, kind of don't care. Ooh, they played the Pirates stinky. They lost 3 out of 4. Go Pirates, go. Kotuk doing anything?
I think he got... he had at least an RBI double in one of the games, I think, or some sort of run-scoring hit.
You know what he's getting at bats? He got 5 hits. Stats aren't great, but he'll get it going.
I think that
he had a tough start.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they just got going.
He had a tough start. Get it going, Cole. We love you. He's getting at bats. That's good. He deserved that. He deserved that.
Yeah, this played all 4 games this series. 300, 700 OPS.
Whoops.
He had a triple. That's what it was.
Let's go. Pirates are 5-4. Hello, Pittsburgh. How's a little winning record with your breakfast this morning? Love that. Shout out to our girl Deanna out there. Let's see what our Dirty Birds are doing. The St. Louis Cardinals, they split 4 with the Brewers. That's obvious. Steven Matz with a bounce-back start after his bad debut. Good for them. They go on to play at the Fish, at the Marlins. The Cubbies, also 5-4. They split 4 with the Rockies. Again, baseball early in the year, it's just kind of a big smorgasbordish of everything. Seiya Suzuki, 4 homers, man. He looks real. That's really cool. But then it's also like, hey, other teams. If Seiya's good, that's a really good contract.
Yeah.
If Seiya's bad, it was a bad contract. That's the tricky part.
The risk you ran.
That's the tricky part of this whole thing. I'd take him. Milwaukee Brewers are 5-5. The Cincinnati Reds are 2-8. They are on a 6-game losing streak. They lost 4 to the Dodgers. Hunter Green, really cool. The most 100-mile-per-hour pitches in a baseball game ever. Whenever first time ever's happened in baseball, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. Damn, tough, Cincy. And then out west, Dodgers, who swept them, they are 7-2. San Francisco Giants, they are 7-2. Reminder, those are the two teams that won, 107 and 106 respectively? Respectfully. They're both 7-2. Your Colorado Rockies are 6-3. Hello, Kelsey Winger. Sideline juice. My girl's killing it. Padres are 6-5. They play the Reds. Get fat on them, Padres. Kind of got to get fat on them early on in the season. And my Diamondbacks have played the Mets. So that was a little MLB whip around from the weekend. Talking baseball, we're obviously deep diving into it. I think if there's things you have to circle outside of individuals, Mets off to a nice start. Also, there was some Buck Showalter fun stuff going on. D-backs, did you see this?
Tell me about it.
D-backs went to appeal a tag up at third. And so the pitcher steps off the mound. The Mets had a runner on first base, J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis just took off for second base. So the pitcher steps off, about to throw to third, and then they're like, oh, he's going to second. They don't throw it to second because if you do that, you can't appeal. So J.D. Davis steals second for free. They throw to third. They called the tag up safe. So the Mets just got a free base because that's Buck Showalter knowing the game. Because they scored a run on the play, and if they threw and tagged the runner out, they couldn't appeal, and they would have still kept the run. So the run was still more important to them. So it was either, A, you're probably getting a free base, because how often do they overrule tag-ups? Very rarely. Or they tag out the runner, and they don't even have the option to appeal.
Kept the run.
That's a team that I bet took spring training very seriously this year and went over a lot of things that are important to winning baseball. Some teams you can probably question that. Maybe I'm blowing up something.
I saw the headline, the Buck understands the tag up play, something better than anybody ever has. And then I did not know what had happened.
Watches the game at a different level. Everyone at Yes Network has said it. In small doses through a TV. I have appreciated it. I think the Mets are here to dance. Trying to see what else. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd circle the San Francisco Giants. I wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid. I thought they might fall off. They still very well can. It's so early in the baseball season. You can't really give takes. It actually kind of makes some of the Talking Yanks and Talking Baseball stuff tough because you can't. Josh Donaldson could still have an incredible April, but he's off to a slow start. It's April 18th.
And we started late.
If Josh Donaldson has a big week, a 3-homer week, which isn't like nuts.
For Josh Donaldson?
Yeah.
No.
It's a good week.
2 homers, couple doubles.
Like then he's off to a good start. So whatever your team is, I ask you to temper the same. I don't know what that phrase was going to be. Temper your expectations. It's a phrase. I don't know if it's used correctly there. Twins up 2-0. That's the baseball. Talking baseball coming up. I guess we could look at some stat leaders quick. Who's still doing it? Adam Simber with 3 wins. That's important. It's really important.
Good place to start.
My guy Nolan Arenado's off to a big start. Circle him to maybe do what Paul Goldschmidt did. Paul Goldschmidt came over to St. Louis his first year and was kind of like, As Paul Goldschmidt on the decline. Arenado came over. His numbers were down just a tick. And everyone, Arenado, Coors. Would not be shocked if he has a massive year. He's a baseball nut. my story that I tell, and I've probably told on here, is Tim Melville, our guy, stopped by the spring training house. He had a cup of coffee on the Rockies. He was wearing an I Love Baseball shirt, so met up with him. Cool guy, funky guy. Tim Melville, he was on the Rockies, so he had 3 good starts, like 3 really good starts. And after the 3rd start, he said Arenado came up to him and was like, hey, I need you to throw to me. And so his next throw day, like he was throwing Arenado. Arenado's like, I got to see this. Just like a baseball.
What are they?
That's who he is.
How's this working?
Like he kind of, it's not a shots fired. Like I think, I think especially Colorado, Rockies starting pitchers in September and August. I think there's a lot of bodies in and out. So, Arenado was friendly
Tough
to
time
him.
for
But
a lot of guys to put together good stretches.
he never like threw his arms around him and were like, hey, let's get dinner. Like, he didn't, it's not what it was like. But after the 3rd start, Arenado was like, okay, let me see
I had to
this.
find out more about you.
Yeah. Could see a big year from him. Marcelo Zuna's hitting. We'll see.
Feels important.
See what that means. There's a few pitchers getting off to good starts. Andrew Heaney. The Heen Dog. 2 starts, 10 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. Little Dodgers magic there. Jose Ramirez is still king. Matt Olson, 16 hits, leading your 3 hits leaders. 3 guys I like a lot. Matt Olson, Jose Ramirez, and Wander Franco. Boogity, boogity. Make that a Battle Royale team or something. I'm a gamer.
I'm a gamer. I was watching your Battle Royale video last night.
Decent content.
It's a good vid.
Decent content. Miggy Rowe. That was huge. It's so hard to lay off the low pitches. Just impossibly hard. I can't talk gaming right now. Joe's in the office today. Maybe we'll get some gaming in. We'll see. How about Luis Robert? 5 stolen bases. I didn't know he got down like that, leading baseball. That's pretty cool. Ooh, this will be a fun one. This is so funny. This was
been caught yet.
This was buried on baseball stat page. How about this? BBD, a little Wake and Jake trivia. We never do this. And we won't. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitchers in baseball that have 2 quality starts. Can you name any of them? Tough question.
Yeah, because all the pitchers
There's
are available.
pitch counts and stuff, yeah.
Is Heaney one of them?
Heaney's not.
I don't know what the innings got.
He doesn't have the
that's
innings.
What got him.
He has 1 quality start.
Verlander.
No, he is 1. Let me see. How did he miss the other one? He must have just been he was 5 innings his first start.
First start was 5. I saw he's on
8 innings.
Spoilers. He's an option for standout performance. So
8 innings shut piece.
Yeah.
From Verlander. 8 Ks. Gemini in the chat just got one. Alek Manoah.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of that and was going to throw that out as the next guess.
Alek Manoah is 1. Kershaw is not. I saw that in the chat.
Yankees.
I'll give. This is a kind of well one. 3 Padres.
Really? Some Musgrove?
Musgrove.
Does you have them?
You has 2. I guess last night he has 3 starts, so he's the only person on the list with 3 starts.
Bit.
Yeah, so he kind of doesn't count.
Yeah.
Manaea. Remember that trade? Speaking of Oakland, Chris Bassett, he's on there, and then Brad Keller and Logan Webb.
I did catch a glimpse of Bassett because the Mets broadcast saw a screenshot of upcoming series matchups, and Bassett has a .4 ERA.
Yeah.
It's didn't know he was getting down like that. I assumed he was doing well because he's a good pitcher.
Yeah. No, Bassett's real. Is that how I should phrase it? I don't know. So how about that?
It's cool.
Little Jakey baseball trivia fun facts. All right. That's the baseball for now. we will be circling back later this week, talking baseball, sports. I love it. BBD, your NBA playoffs are underway. How about that? How about that? I think we can go to... They played their first full slate was Sunday, right? Oh, you should have seen how I just clicked around.
Saturday, I think, was the first set of game ones.
Excuse me. Today's Monday. Saturday was the first full slate of game ones. Friday, the East finished their play-in games. If you missed that, the Hawks beat the Cavaliers to become the 8 seed, and the Pelicans beat the Clippers to become the 8 seed. Crazy comeback in that game. No Paul George, tough. Yeah. Felt bad for the Clippers because they were up. No Paul George. No Kawhi. Pelicans, no Zion. Pelicans, I was going to say they kind of earned it. Whatever, over it. Saturday, Western Conference. Western Conference and Raptors Sixers. Jazz beats the Mavericks. That's Luka did not play.
Oh, yeah.
So that's tough. He's got his calf thing going on. We'll see what goes on there. Without Luka, what are the Mavs? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some nice basketball players.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
Reggie Bullock is a nice basketball player.
Had a great game.
Jalen Brunson, nice basketball player, 24 points. Dinwiddie, nice basketball player. But I mean,
yeah, let's just be honest. That starting lineup: Dinwiddie, Brunson, Powell, Bullock, Finney-Smith.
The guys that played in the Mavericks game is like one of the worst video game teams I've ever seen. I would just put the sticks down. Like, I'm good. I don't
Good for Reggie. Did have the brutal playoff series last year with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Happy for him to get a good one under his belt. Hope it matters.
Dorian Finney-Smith. Jazz, yeah, we'll see what happens. I heard the phrase, I think it was from Ursillo, that just like everyone's over the Jazz because it's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Except no Joe Ingles. He got hurt mid-year, if you remember that.
Hurt and traded.
That's tough. I really like Joe Ingles. Gobert, 5 points. 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. So, Bogdo, 26 spot. Good for him. Donovan Mitchell, let's be honest. I think there's a lot of NBA teams rooting for the Jazz to lose because he's got a chance to be the next get me out of here.
Yeah.
Reportedly not the biggest Gobert guy. One of the... What was that? Okay. BBD's out.
Do a Gobert invented COVID joke.
I
didn't do that.
He didn't do it. T-Wolves. They beat the Grizz. How about that? Anthony Edwards, 36 points. He's a bad dude, man. He's awesome. Karl Anthony Towns redeems himself. He had the bad playing game, if you remember. 29 points, 13 boards, 11 of 18 shooting from Karl Anthony Towns. Anthony Edwards, 12 for 23. D'Lo, my guy, D'Angelo Russell had a bad game. Doesn't hurt him. How about your boy Jaden McDaniels? Excuse me? 15 points off the bench. Good for him. Malik Beasley with 23. So the T-Wolves can hit you a lot of different ways. And again, if you butter knife them and what they've been doing for the latter part of this season, I think the Vegas odds, because the Timberwolves took game one, changed like crazy. Like,
yeah.
Grizzlies were big favorites, and now it's like coin flip. So
Timberwolves kind of have a formula. They get one of Cat or Edwards, and then like two of Beasley, D'Lo, Pat Bev.
Yeah, you have Cat or Edwards need to be a 1 for a day. The other one or D'Angelo need to be a 2. And then after that, you need the other one or like a Malik Beasley to be a kind of a third scorer. Like, it kind of makes sense.
You can see how that works, especially in a regular season. We'll see playoffs. So far, so good.
And hey, a little A-Rod effect, people are saying.
The like kind of takeaway from this overall, like when has ever been the 2-7 series are the most gripping. That's kind of what we got this year, both the two most interesting series.
How about Steven Adams with a hilarious big man stat line? 24 minutes, no shot attempts. Just setting screens. He didn't grab a lot of rebounds, only 3 rebounds.
No blocks.
Yeah, that's a tough big man stat line. Ja Morant, whatever the over-under is for his points for game 2, I might bet that right now.
I'm going to find it.
If you think Ja Morant isn't going to show out in game 2 and just let this Memphis awesome season go down to the Timberwolves, no offense, Timberwolves. We did this whole conversation last time, but yeah, I mean, are they playing tonight or tomorrow?
I think I opened the wrong game.
They're playing tomorrow. But they've got the numbers. Let's see, player props.
29.5.
I mean, it's a big one, and I got to show I'm a man of the people. Like, I'm going to take that. Over in a big way. Bang, just place the bet. DraftKings Sportsbook. Ja's going to get his. We'll see. Dylan Brooks in every playoff series ever. Sixers rolled the Raptors. That's one you circle because of the whole Harden thing. And is he going to turn it on? And what does that look like? Here's my thing. I mean, it's a fiery sports conversation. Whenever Harden needs to turn it on, he does. Like, yes. There's also the other side to that argument that he doesn't end up winning anything, but neither do a lot of guys in the NBA. And, like, they had Golden State beat.
Like
they had Golden State beat.
Like, it took, like, a all-time
Chris
drought.
Paul got hurt.
Yeah.
All-time drought. Like, they had Golden State beat.
Or a Bronco 2-run home.
I get if you want to dislike Harden. I think he's given enough ammo for that. But
to dislike, certainly.
Tyrese Maxey with 38. Playoff game. That's pretty nuts. So I guess, hey, maybe that's even more of note. If Harden has a game where he goes 6 for 17 in this game, not great, Bob. Even Embiid, 5 for 15. Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey got buckets, which normally that's kind of the second conversation about the Sixers. It's like, well, Tobias Harris isn't enough. Maybe Maxey and Harris, like maybe Tobias Harris is a fourth option. I think he's always been like is he a good third option? I think there's arguments both ways there. If Tobias Harris is your 4 guy, that's something. We'll see what happens there. I mean, again, if there's 76ers could also blow up at any minute, so I'm not gonna tie myself to that bandwagon fully. Another game of note, the Golden State Warriors. They beat the Nuggets pretty handily, 123-107. Jordan Poole has been going nut job. Jordan Poole put up 30 points. He had a huge second half of the season. Jokic, even on what was considered a bad night for him, finishes 25, 10, and 6. He's a sicko. I'll just say, I mean, the pieces around him. Jamal Murray's hurt again, right?
Yeah, he's not back.
I like Jamal Murray a lot. I think if this Nuggets team ever fully puts it together, he's got to be a big part of that. And yeah, I don't know. Love my Nugs, love Denver, but Golden State, man, if they can get to the Western Conference Finals or hell, the finals, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Pretty cool.
That'd be a lot of fun. Jordan Poole with 30 points. Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, Clay. They played without... Steph played 22 minutes, excuse me. But he's like on the mend. And Golden State still gets it done. So, Iguodala's on Golden State.
Yeah, that was the fun part of the summer.
That's fun. Belicia. What a squad. Gary Payton, too. So that was your Saturday slate of games. Miami Heat rolled on the Hawks, 115-91. Duncan Robinson with a 27 spot. Heat are the Heat. They're kind of like a disrespected 1 seed. Shot 47.5% from 3. Jimmy Buckets with a big game. PJ Tucker doing PJ Tucker in the playoff things. PJ Tucker maybe not getting talked about enough. Maybe he is. Again, I've been in a lot of baseball weeds, not the basketball weeds. PJ Tucker being on the Heat.
He's been a key part of a lot of good teams.
That can be very important in a couple weeks. Bam doesn't even do much. Lowry, Tyler Hero, he's going to have a big night. They roll on the Hawks. Bucks Bulls was a decent basketball game. Bucks end up winning. Again, a lot of people don't think that series is going to end up being close. Bucks seem like they have a go button. Same with Suns and Pels. Suns win 110-99. Chris Paul, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. I think those two are the big time favorites. I'm not even going to spend too much time on them. I mean, the game that everyone's talking about, Celtics Nets. Yeah, back a game of the night. Remember that? 115-114. Celtics beat the Nets. Go watch the buzzer beater. That's something I like to inform you guys, some of the water cooler talk. Celtics down 2 with the ball. Jaylen Brown drives. There's 4 seconds left. He passes. Believe it's to Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart pump fakes. This is 4 seconds. NBA, when we think a lot about the NBA and what is it? And it always comes down to the final 2 minutes, and it's, get it to your best guy in ISO, and we want him to make the bucket. The Celtics, who have been playing an incredible brand of basketball, defense, team ball. Jaylen Brown kicks it to Smart. Smart pump fake dribble. With 1 second left, he dishes it to Tatum, who spins around Kyrie. Game-winning layup. Some nice team basketball to win the game. And meanwhile, on the other side, Kyrie goes nut job. 39 points, 9 of 9 from the line, 12 of 20 shooting. Durant finishes with 23. Kyrie gives the Boston fans something to chew on. Little double birds coming at you. Hello.
They're really giving it to him.
That maybe a little teaser. There might be some double birds on the weekly dumb coming up. Boston has 4 guys with 20-plus points. Al Horford, Big Al, still doing it. Marcus Smart. Oh, my God. And Jaylen Brown. So that series, like BBD was saying, the 2-7 series expect to be the big ones. Expect to be the big ones.
4 guys over 20 points.
Yeah. Did you watch this game?
I saw the end of it after talking Yanks. I caught the fourth quarter highlights. But the streets were saying it did sound like Durant wasn't getting the whistle you would expect Kevin Durant to get. Should explain his stat line a little bit.
In Boston?
And he never fully got hot, but he ends up in kind of an okay place for when
Kevin Durant.
Kyrie is dropping almost 40. That's fine.
Both teams were 19 of 24 from the free throw line. Analytics.
I think I believe Tatum's over-under on the game was 29.5, so that layup at the end gets him up to 31 from 29. So a lot of gambling implications on that bucket.
So NBA playoffs are underway. Today's the 18th. 3 games tonight. 3 games tomorrow. That's right. I forgot NBA playoffs starts to dance a little bit.
They get some stacking and
they squeeze the juice out of their playoffs, and good for them.
it always gets me when like Game 7 of the previous, like the Western Series, is same day as Game 1,
Yeah.
East or vice versa.
Yeah. So
You guys kind of are getting it, but also like pretty weird.
we're in it now. I think if you see it, if you got time and a Nets Celtics game is on, you're gonna want to turn that on. Even just the Kyrie aspect of it. Never mind like
Everything else.
kind of the good basketball aspect of it.
Yeah, the Grizzlies 2-7 series. Good if you're into like the deeper cut basketball stuff, but
let's see what that game looks like on Tuesday night. I'm interested. I just bet on it. And then I guess I've said this before, but late night if you see Golden State on, give her a flip.
yeah, catch 10 minutes before bed.
Just because you're gonna like that. All right, that's kind of a lot of the sports. Jordan Spieth wins on back-to-back Easters. How about that? Playoff hole. Good for you, dude. Gotta say that money. Rap game got it all wrong. Whoa, haven't a little dicked in a while. People, this brings us to the part of the show where I ask you guys to bake the algorithm. The comment of the day, bakers, I ask you guys to leave a comment about sports, about life, mostly about sports, I'll be honest. Let's see. Das Flippity Flop. Oh, we're talking about Alec Boehm. This is going back now a little bit. Forgot about that.
Monday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I love Philly's reaction. You don't like being booed. Do they boo him more? Nah, they actually show a little appreciation. Philly has good fans. Yeah, that whole thing kind of worked out. Has Boehm done anything since? Where's he at?
Still has like a 700 average and everything else he's hitting.
7 for 11.
Yeah, leads baseball in sack flies. He's got 3 of them. Those things are underrated.
Good for him, man. Let's see. Man, and a lot of it's been like pinch hit. He's got 1, 2.
Been subbing. I don't think Stott's really gotten it going, but he's also the only defender on that team. So
2 pinch hit at bats. Yeah, okay. Good for you. Good for you, dude. Keep hitting. Philly will love you. Some Kapler Dubon stuff, the whole bunt gate and all of that. Matt and Drake. Sounds like an indie band. They were talking about that. Drew Sanchez said never bunt no matter what with a smiley face. Made me laugh. That was kind of my vibe. Bunt has become this like naughty world in baseball that you like you can't even talk about it. And then, hey, Tom Nelligan, BBD, you remember we talked a lot about Bo Bichette. So we got a scouting report. So this is Tom Nelligan's scouting report on Bo Bichette. Bichette has traditionally struggled with balls to his glove side as he has had to cover for poor third basemen. With Chapman, now you're likely to see a massive uptick in Bo's defense, not having to cover extra ground. Only issue is he can occasionally sail a throw. All right. There's your Bo Bichette defensive scouting report. We're wondering where he stands. I'm excited to see. And that is something that doesn't get talked about enough in baseball. Is like infielder, your defenders to either side. Like Bo Bichette going from Vladdy to Matt Chapman. That changes how you play.
Mm-hmm.
That changes how you play. Like one of the better third basemen to ever get it done. To that. So a lot of good sports comments. Thank you guys. We switched to Wednesday on you. I probably should have said that again at the start of the show. Still haven't. We're going to be Wednesday mornings, Monday and Wednesday. So thank you guys for tuning in. You're the best as always. Ooh, I was wearing my pretty shirt. Forgot about that. Well-Dressed Wednesday will now be
part of this. Frankly, that makes sense.
Yeah, I got to start getting ahead of outfits a little more. I've been slacking. I need Ashlyn to help, or I need like an intern to get involved. We'll figure it out. And that brings us to the bro of the night. Bro of the night, you want to highlight someone who stand out or had a good performance or should be talked about around the water cooler. God, I mean, part of me wants to go Heen Dog, but Yankee fans are already a little riled up. Let's see. I'll steal something from the baseball world. You know what? I will do it quick because I don't have the heart to do it on Talking Baseball. I'll go Heaney. I don't know how that dude uses the internet, but there was probably a couple months where he either had to change how he used the internet or he had to ignore a lot of shit. One of the first contracts done in the offseason, he goes to the Dodgers. Everyone's kind of laughing at it. Developing players. We talked about it last Talking Baseball. Now with the way the Yankees are able to pitch, whether it's Nestor Cortez or Clay Holmes, the San Francisco Giants, if they're back in it this year, what the Rays have been about, internal developing of your major league players, that might be the best recipe for success. And holy crap, if they fix Teen Dog, who dropped a 6 innings pitch, 11 Ks.
And hey, the Savant numbers always liked him, and Dodgers are a smart team.
That weird.
They've been doing this. It's like, all right, so.
Weird.
And like all offseason, we were joking around about how like, well, they're gonna figure out and he'll be good. We didn't think this good this quick, but
yeah.
So
So
we'll see 2 starts, but
yeah, but hey, good for him.
he had one start like that with the Yankees.
Yeah. Sure did. Averex. Call that in the biz. You got a standout, Beebs?
Yeah, I mean, my bro of the night. I'm kind of glad we glossed over it during that NBA segment. It's Chris Paul.
Yeah.
He kind of takes over that game in the 4th. New Orleans, former team, by the way. They have like a bit of a comeback in the 3rd. It, like puts a little scare into them, and full takes over in the 4th. 19 fourth quarter points, 7 of 8 shooting, 3 of 4 from deep. And like done it on this show a couple times. Like he is an all-time player, like short list of best point guards ever.
Yes.
Like he's still as good as ever. So dude's nasty. If they win a title here, he sticks around a little longer.
No,
he's like known as Phoenix Sun legend Chris Paul, and it's like, oh, by the way, and he had to run with the Clippers for a couple years. It didn't work out.
And by the way, like
that, by the Pelicans.
That's a guy that's going to stay around basketball. Like you just know it.
Yeah, he's been the president of the PA for so long.
It would be funny if he became like the Suns guy, Chris Paul.
Yeah, I remember we joked around about it after the finals last year. It's like if he extends again, they win one.
It's so ridiculous, and this has been a lot of conversation on a few of the pods I listen to, but like Chris, we should be smart enough as people to know that Chris Paul is Chris Paul is Chris Paul at this point, but we can't. And like if this Phoenix Suns team wins a championship this year, that'll fall on the shoulders of a lot of people besides Chris Paul. It's the difference between Barkley and like Dirk.
Yeah, the amount that really does shift
just like
one ring.
Just like every room you walk into.
Like particularly with basketball, like it's
like every, Shaq hits Chuck with it almost every other line, and Dirk's like one of the more beloved humans on planet Earth. Sports, and like at the same time, I get it because like we play for rings in the desert.
You play to win the game.
You play to win the game. Good shit, BBD. Let's wrap it up. Talking baseball coming up in a minute. Probably the 18th time I've said that. We will be back here Wednesdays. We're doing Wednesdays now, people. Talking Giants. Talking football. They're getting jazzed up. NFL draft is sneaking up. I think next Wednesday's the Wednesday before the draft, so we're probably going to have some stuff there. That'll be fun. JJTV, Chris Rose rotation, Giolito back, I believe. Talking Yanks, told you that's emotional. Farm to Fame this week. Shea Station, if you want to get your Mets on, they're having fun.
On AMP.
Mansplain, AMP. Everyone go check out the AMP shows. Fantasy Baseball with Jolly. Ashland, Joe's, Paxton's first week. Holy smokes. Dan and Rob, big week.